Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee.
He's back.
I'm back. Just the baby talk got to me. You know what? I have enough kids.
That's true.
If I talked any more baby, there would have been a problem. And I still want Jacqueline to get a pregnancy test too.
Uh-oh.
After
Did you tell her that?
She high-fived me. I told her that during the show.
Well, you'll have to have her back on to find out what the results are.
That's right.
Live.
That's right. So moving on from the baby stuff.
Right, moving on to the baby stuff.
What do we got going on?
Well, you know, our lives are so busy today with babies, families, taking care of elderly parents possibly, work, maintaining your home, maintaining your lifestyle. We all are always looking for more time, but you know, you can't really buy time. Time is finite, it's what it is.
That's right.
But our guest this morning is Scott Milne, and he's going to help us with that problem. He is an efficiency expert, so welcome to Morning Coffee.
Welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you very much.
So what is an efficiency expert?
Well, Keith, I really spend my time looking at large buildings and homes to help people understand how to save money and energy. But I find that efficiency really can carry over all aspects of what we do. And I consider it best practice. How can we save money? How can we save time, aggravation, and resources along the way?
Right.
Absolutely. So now, how did you get into this?
Well, frankly, I was a mortgage loan officer before the mortgage debacle.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And although I'm still a mortgage loan officer, I also practiced in home energy auditing.
Okay.
Home energy auditing helps the homeowner a great deal.
Right.
But what I found was that there was a real lack in commercial efficiency. What are they doing with the large commercial buildings? So I still love to help homeowners. I'm really getting the bang for the buck when I'm helping large buildings.
Right.
Right.
And energy-wise, you're helping them with like their HVAC, water.
HVAC is the big one. Water, honestly, is going to be very, very important in the near future. In Southern California, it's extremely important right now.
I used to live there, I know. Yep.
But everything that they pay money for in that building, whether
Okay.
it's phone, natural gas, water, especially electricity. And when it comes to electricity, you're right, air conditioning's the big one.
Yes. Absolutely. Especially, you know, in California, and now actually throughout most of the country.
Electric
Probably
prices are
due
going up.
to global warming, they say. I
Well,
don't know how true that is, but yeah,
We're
electric
gonna-
prices are going up.
we'll be exploring that those conversations.
Right.
But yes, it's true. Water bills are going up, electric bills are going up. There are absolutely ways to save. It's all about understanding them.
You know, Scott, do you think that people are just they don't care? Like, I mean, when I say that, I mean like
You mean
know,
they just pay the bill and get on
well, they pay the bill.
with
Like,
it?
I mean, you know, when you have things plugged in all day, stuff like that, I think they just don't care. I
or
mean,
they don't even realize it, maybe.
Maybe so.
You know
maybe
what
so.
you mean, like charging your phone and your devices and your TV.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I don't
all
know how
that.
much electricity there, but yeah, I guess
That?
you know.
Well, it all adds up, Keith. And I think people do care. And I think that if they understood a little bit better, that they could make simple changes in their own home or lifestyle that could save them an awful lot of something. Money, time, aggravation, and all of it helps save natural resources.
Right.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I mean, that's definite. So now, you said you mentioned California. Do you think that we have energy problems on the East Coast?
Well, New York has some of the highest electric bills in the nation,
Really?
next to
Know that.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yes,
Really?
electricity in Hawaii is quite expensive.
Do they even have electricity there? It's supposed to be like, you know, paradise.
It's the
Paradise
islands.
doesn't have electricity.
They have an awful lot of heat and humidity,
They
Keith.
do.
They have an awful lot of air conditioning.
Right, they do.
Man.
You would think Florida would factor in too.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we all have air conditioning issues. Part of the problem, frankly, is that all of us turn on that air conditioning at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a high demand for energy during peak hours, they call it, and it seems to be ample energy in the evening. So we're going to be discussing that on one of my shows, how the utility has gone about attempting to correct that imbalance.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. I see you have insulation here.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I made a mock-up last night of what a typical attic might look like.
Okay. And you know what? You can tilt that up a little for the viewers up there.
Sure.
Now, so this is what everybody's home looks like, whether they believe it or not.
Well, in their attic, they're going to have ceiling joists holding up their ceiling.
Right.
And of course, they've got a roof over that. We
Right.
don't insulate the roofs. It's not necessary. We insulate the ceiling. Now,
So that's in between.
yes,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
And most attics are set up that way. The builders leave them that way. And while we're on the topic, if you're selecting roof and roof color and roof shingles, always choose a lighter color roof if you can.
Yes.
The darker color roofs invite the heat from the sun. They actually grab it and attract it and hold on to it. But let's talk about the most important part of insulating a home. There's many aspects of doing it. As an energy auditor, we give a report that shows all the various locations that you should be paying attention to. Always the attic comes into play. Now what you'll see in most attics, if you haven't done it yourself, is insulation that's been flattened over age. It's all the way deep down like this, and some houses only have 2, 3, 4 inches remaining. What would be best is if you pulled out that old insulation, dusty, dirty job, so wear a mask, and you got new insulation which will go in there and fluff up fully into the cavity.
Right.
But most people forget one important fact. When you remove this insulation, through the ceiling is coming wires, possibly pipes, chimney stacks, all kinds of things come through your house.
True.
What we're doing now is we're sealing those gaps and then coming back in with the new insulation. But 6 inches of insulation is just not enough. We recommend another layer of unfaced insulation. This is faced insulation. The vapor barrier goes down towards the living area. But we then recommend another layer going across the studs like this.
Ah,
Oh, no kidding.
Now, do you store anything in your attic, Keith?
if we do, I don't
do.
remember.
Many people use their attic for storage.
Right.
So this idea is not going to work, because they put their boards across here.
That's
Right.
right.
So we recommend taking it another step, and you need more than 6 inches of insulation, and you also need attic storage.
Right.
So if you pull these things apart and you run boards this way, 6 inches, that fit the insulation, now you've got new boards here, and you can put your floor on top of the
Right.
12 inches of insulation.
Wow.
Every home should have 10 to 14 inches of insulation. And those holes and gaps through the home should be properly sealed. That's something many insulation companies neglect to do.
We have, you're saying those things, and I think in my head as a homeowner, you're saying, well, how much does it actually save us? I think that's another thing that I think people are out there, they can't gear. If you showed them, if you said, look, let me do it, and then
And here's your energy bill
here's
for
your
the next
energy
4
bill
months.
for next, people would say, wow. It's a fact of actually getting them to do it. They have to be in pain, almost.
Well, those electric bills are pretty painful.
I'm telling you, the PSE&G rips my arm off.
Yeah,
That's
me
how much
too.
pain.
Yep, me too.
The gas bills coupled with the energy bills, is where your money's going through is your ceiling. Remember, heat will rise.
Right.
And it's constantly fighting to rise and get out of the building. And it is. It's effectively rising and escaping the building, and then it will draw the cold air from outside.
Right.
Air conditioning is also extremely expensive. It's a lot of energy being used, and any way we can seal off the house is good. So we have less energy being used on air conditioning.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back talking a little bit about insulating your home right after this.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman
Hi.
will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at Experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppes TEX-MEX, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppes because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppes TEX-MEX in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Hey there, everybody. This is Scott Tanker, host of Lunch with the Boss on RadioVisionNetwork.com. I want you to visit me each and every Thursday from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, where we have special guests talking about the dynamics between employees and employers. We talk about their business. We let our audience know, that's you folks, what these businesses are all about and how we can make the working environment better, while at the same time learning about local businesses here in the Delaware Valley. So, I'm host of Lunch with the Boss. My name is Scott Tanker. I want to see you here every Thursday from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. Be there, be square. Thanks a lot.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with my show co Charlene Chamberlain and our guest, Char.
Our guest is Scott Milne, and he is our energy and efficiency expert. And we were just talking about insulating your home. Summer, winter. What does it really do? I mean, I know it will probably lower your energy bills in the winter, but does it help in the summer as well?
Yes, indeed. What I'm going to recommend probably is that insulation can be a little tricky. There's many different types and varieties of it. But if you hire a home energy auditor, they'll come into your home with a blower door test and make sure your energy auditor has a blower door.
What's a blower door test?
Well,
do you know what that is?
Yes, I do, because I had it done.
You did?
Yes.
Oh.
It's where they've hooked this thing to your door, your front door.
Oh.
And
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I will definitely fail that test. My
Yeah.
door is from 1865.
No, it's
not
not
about
the
the door.
door. It's
the
about
blower door
trim?
test is a massive fan.
Right.
That we seal the house, close all the doors and windows, and put this fan blowing out of the door.
From the house, inside out.
Inside out.
Oh.
What we're doing is we're then able to go around the house and easily find all the leaks.
Oh.
in the house. It's
And
cool.
they really blow. The
Yeah.
leaks will rush in so fast that you can feel them easily with your hand.
Well, I can do that anyway from the other side of this door.
In
So.
the wintertime, well,
Yeah.
there are various types of insulations to help with that, and an energy auditor can help you sort all that out,
Right.
find those leaks and gaps, which will help dramatically in the summertime for air conditioner and in the wintertime as your heat attempts to escape your home.
Wow.
So, Scott, tell us a little bit more about energy audits. And, we were just talking a little bit about a home residential
That's
energy
right.
audit.
Residential energy audit, you can expect to pay maybe a few $100s for a detailed report of what you can do to improve your home.
Okay.
That money will certainly come back to you in probably less than one season. And you'll have a new understanding of your home, and how to light it, and how to enjoy it. And if your home is more comfortable, that's well worth the money right there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
And if
agree.
your bills are lower too.
Keith, with commercial buildings though, it's really very different. Commercial buildings, it's not about fiberglass insulation. It's about best practice and advancing technologies. My company specializes in retrofit technologies for large buildings, where we put things into the equipment that they already have. The return on investment on that is usually very quick.
Okay. So that means, basically working with the air conditioning unit they might already have.
Yeah,
the
working
trend
within
system.
their parameters.
Well, for instance, we're able to put a new light bulb into their light fixture that already exists. The light is possibly LED, which would run on a third of the energy of the conventional light bulb.
Right.
The light fixture stays in place. We supply the advanced technology, the LED.
Nice, nice. What are some other things that besides light bulbs, that we can help with?
Well, for commercial buildings, Keith, what we find is that they're bringing in a great deal of what they call makeup air because of regulation from ASHRAE.
Makeup air?
Fresh air, new air.
Makeup air, that's what it's called now?
I call it hot and polluted air.
Yeah, really.
Well, fresh air is often hot and polluted in
Yeah.
the summertime, and ASHRAE standard says you must bring in, for fresh air purposes, you must bring in at least 20% makeup air. In hospitals, it's more.
Well, I know there is a sick building syndrome that happens
That's right.
very often.
And
For
that
these
fresh air.
buildings that are closed up, there's no way.
Circulation.
Yeah, no circulation. Windows don't open. You can't get anything fresh in, and it's recirculated heat or air conditioning.
Well, believe it or not, there are sick buildings with 20-25% new fresh air being infused.
Great.
So in the ASHRAE standard, it actually says that you need to bring in this 20% makeup air unless you're using mechanical purification inside the building. Now, what is mechanical air purification?
I don't
Right.
know. What is it?
Many people think it has to do with thick filters and massive air movement.
Right.
Well, it's not. There's two techniques that we're going to teach you about today, negative ionization and ozone, that have to do with mechanical purification.
So are you cleaning the air?
We're cleaning the air that already exists. So in advanced buildings, they're actually using oxygen sensing, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide sensing to make sure the building has enough oxygen for people to breathe. And then we're killing bacteria that's in the air to keep people healthy.
Because somebody's sick in the office and you're in one of those buildings, it eventually goes right down the line. Everybody else eventually has it, and then it'll circle right back to the first person,
That's
like
right.
3 or 4 months later.
Keith, what's the most expensive thing for any business?
The most expensive things?
It's not the utilities.
Sick time.
It's
Yeah,
people.
people.
It's people. And if we can keep those people healthy, that will make a big difference in the bottom line. But again, the makeup air is the reason that we're beginning to talk about purifying what's already in the air. Now, when it comes to mechanical purification, I think of two things. Knocking the airborne contaminants out of the air.
Right.
Have you ever looked through your Venetian blind when the sun is beaming through and you get this one ray of light, and you look into that ray of light and you
Oh
see,
yeah, dust particles everywhere.
is that
Yeah,
everywhere?
what is that? Yeah.
Is that going into
It
my
is.
lungs?
Yeah.
Yes, it is,
Sure it
yes.
is.
But it's not just dust. It's dust mites, it's dust mite dander, dust mite fecal matter, dust mite parts, and pollen.
Wait a minute, dust mites poop?
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Uh-oh.
But here's the problem with those contaminants. They have a very minute positive charge. You may have learned that in 5th grade science class. These atoms have a negative or
Right.
positive charge.
Right.
So those floaters, as I call them, have a positive charge. But so does this table and my shirt
Right.
and the wall and the ceiling. So like two magnets coming together, you know how it's difficult to push them positive to positive?
Yes.
Right.
Those suspended articles will remain suspended unless you change the ionization in the room.
Right.
And you may have heard of air purifiers that use ionization.
Yes, I have one.
We add negative ionization to airspace where people are working or living, breathing. And no one could notice it. You could flood the room with negative ionization, and all it does is change the charge of those minute, no gravity particles
Wow.
and allows them to land. You're flipping the battery.
That's
Now,
pretty amazing.
all those things can clear out of the air. It's so amazing, it's hard to see. People don't believe it.
No.
Because people don't believe it, we have a way to try to prove it to them.
Ooh.
What I'm doing here is I'm creating smoke in a smoke box. And it only takes a moment. And when this box gets filled up with smoke, you're going to see that the smoke actually stays as smoke. It will stay suspended. So we're going to give that a second to really smoke out here.
Okay.
Because there's a second technology that we're going to talk about right after this that has to do with killing bacteria. What would you say if I told you that there's a colorless, odorless, natural gas that you could put into your car, your home space, your laundry room with your pet kitty
Area,
litter box,
right.
that will kill all bacteria that leads to odor.
I'd say I need 10.
How about
That's
all
pretty
bacteria
amazing.
that leads to illness?
Yeah.
It's an amazing process, and it's called ozone. It kills all bacteria down to HIV, bird flu, regular cold germs. How about Ebola?
Right.
Is that
Yeah.
nature's miracle?
I think that was on one of the news channels about that. That's how
Well,
they got
not
rid
enough,
of the-
in my opinion.
Not enough, because that's how they got rid of the Ebola. Well, you know what? Because that's a cure, and they don't want to know about cures. They want to just keep, So.
Well, we're going to elaborate on ozone in a few minutes because it's actually very important that we talk about it. Because treating with the proper level of ozone is what keeps people healthy. Treating with too much ozone can actually cause some respiratory issues. So let's take a look at what we've created here. I'm turning off the switch that turns off the smoke. And in this box is very simple.
little smoky.
There's no fans, there's no outlets. You would smell the smoke if it was open. And it's not going anywhere, is it, Charlene?
No.
Right? And what we have in here is needlepoint ionization right here, which kind of grabs the large molecules. And the plate ionization is very good at grabbing smaller, minute particles. So are you noticing any difference in the smoke so far?
No.
Not really, right? So if we go ahead and turn on negative ionization, can you see the smoke beginning to move?
Moving. Oh, yeah.
And if we turn on the plate ionization, in just a few moments, you'll see that smoke is gone.
It's dissipating, right?
We have this in smokers' bars, casinos, and it's working very effectively
Wow.
to take the suspended particles that will not land, have no gravity. It'll pull them out of the air
Right.
in just a few moments.
What does it actually do to it? But you know what? Before you answer that
Yeah, we
question,
need a commercial break,
we need to
I
go to
think.
commercial break, and we'll
Okay.
find out.
Thank you.
Here, we have an attractive orange and a distinguished apple. The two similar, but opposites. Theory, a wingman is needed, or perhaps a wing lemon. A friend to the orange and an acquaintance to the apple, the lemon brings the two opposites together. See, with a little fresh thinking, the universe can be surprisingly smooth.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Fitzpatrick's. Deli dine for breakfast and lunch. And at night, gourmet dine for dinner with entrees and specialty sandwiches including certified black Angus cuts of beef and wild-caught seafood, plus catering options for specialty events. Since 1989, Fitzpatrick's, your hometown place with upscale tastes.
APPLERIDGE is about freedom. APPLERIDGE is about community. APPLERIDGE is about home. APPLERIDGE, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. APPLERIDGE Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit APPLERIDGESeniorLiving.com and find out more about the APPLERIDGE experience.
Hi, I'm Jim Turpin, host of Your Best 50. Please join me every Thursday at 3:30 where we'll cover topics that are important to the baby boom generation and their kids. And let us help you make this your best 50.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I'm Charlene Chamberlain with my show co-Keith Reynolds, and we have a very interesting guest this morning. It's Scott Milne, and he is our efficiency expert. And right before the break, we were talking about purifying air.
That's right.
And the benefits of purifying your air, and how there are so many people that are ill from sick building syndrome, and that now businesses are actually pumping in makeup air, which I never knew it was called makeup air, but makeup air sounds like almost pretend air. So let's continue on with that subject a little bit more.
Before we go any further, where did the smoke go?
Where did the smoke go? Excellent question,
Magic.
Keith. The smoke is just molecules, Keith. It's atoms and molecules, and when you reverse the ionization, they're easily able to drop out of the atmosphere. So they might be on the sides of that box or the ceiling of that box, but they are see-through, they're minute.
So I guess, and that's what I want to point out to the viewers out there. There was no fan in that box.
No.
No.
It's just because of that.
Reversing the polarity of the atoms.
Okay.
Yes.
And start to make a move.
It's really quite amazing.
That is amazing.
When you can't see something happen, you just have a hard time believing it.
Like, how did that email get over there?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Think about it.
But that's why I have that little box, because, negative ionization just sounds like something.
Right.
Sounds cool, but
you can't quantify it till you
can't
actually see it.
Until you actually see it.
That's the way we are.
That's right.
It's the nature of us.
But I'd like to move on actually to something that's more important.
Okay.
And you just said the magic word. That's nature. This next air purification technique or strategy is really about nature. I consider it nature's miracle. See, in the atmosphere we have all kinds of molecules that are mixing and changing and moving, and surrounding the planet we have something called ozone.
Right.
The news does ozone an injustice, in my opinion.
Yes, it certainly does. Oh, the ozone layer is so thin. Don't go out today, you'll get a sunburn. The ozone level is not healthy.
That's right. On hotter days, molecules mix more. After a rainstorm, molecules mix more. But the news talks about ozone as if it's negative. And I'd like to kind of dispel that myth. The EPA has put out scientific studies on how much ozone can affect a person with negative aspects, like an asthma or a headache.
Right.
And it is way up here on the ozone charts. After a rainstorm, that energy in the environment messes with molecules. And what ozone is it's 3 oxygen molecules coming together. A little unnatural, frankly. That third oxygen molecule is ready to bounce at the first opportunity. So ozone has a very short half-life. But those 3 oxygen molecules, when clustered together, is absolutely nature's way of purifying our planet. I understand if it wasn't for ozone, our sidewalks would be green. But
right.
It kills all bacteria.
Is that why that always smells so nice after a shower?
That's why
in the
people
summer?
hang out their laundry after a rainstorm.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's killing the bacteria that happens in the workplace, or a retirement community, or a prison. How about things like staph, MRSA,
Hospitals.
C. diff,
Yeah.
Ebola, bird flu, the flu bug, all bacteria. It's incredible, but this natural process kills all bacteria. So with that, and it's also created with low levels of energy. So with that,
It's natural.
And it's natural, but you have to watch it. You want to make sure you're not treating any space too heavily. See, ozone's nice because you will smell that level of ozone well before any hazard level is reached.
Okay.
So you treat your home or your building with ozone. If you're starting to smell a little ozone, it's time to turn it down a little bit. And that's why we have devices that are scalable. So you can treat with a little more or a little less ozone based on the space you're treating, the odor you're dealing with. But I've never been in a building, Keith, that they don't have some odor somewhere that they wish they could do without.
Well, my one son works at a hotel, and they have ozone machines.
Oh, very interesting ideas for hotels.
Yep.
We're creating hypoallergenic floors in hotels.
Really?
When you walk into certain hotels now, you could be offered an upgrade, $15, and you can know that your hotel room is hypoallergenic because of negative ionization and literally sanitized for your protection because of ozone.
I did that.
You did that?
I did that. We were traveling and I did not like the room. The cleaning solutions that they used were just making me sick. I said I need a different room. They moved me to another room. Same problem. I said, no, I need a room that's clean. Do you have something that doesn't have any odor at all? And they said, oh yeah, we actually have a natural room. I said, well, I want it, whatever it is. I want it. And that's exactly what it was.
Hotels are enjoying this. They're earning the money to pay for the equipment, and I find that they're using it to put in the people who are unsatisfied.
Well,
Right?
I was, yeah.
They didn't take the option when they first
Yeah.
booked in, but then the remote doesn't work or they don't like the view, and the hotel can immediately satisfy them by putting them in an upgraded room.
Right.
It has to do with air purification.
Well, and there are many people that are sensitive to those cleaning products and those odors. I happen to be one of them, and I didn't know about this room. If I had known about it when I booked it, I would have booked that room first
Charlene, I
and
am
not
so
had to have
glad
gone
you
through
said
the
that.
other processes and in and out of rooms.
I'm so glad you said that because my company carries a full line of cleaning products for hotels and retirement communities that have no alcohols, no chlorines, no
No
bleaches.
fragrance, yeah, all
That's right,
natural.
all natural. So let's show you what we have here on the
Yeah,
table.
let's see. This
if you
stuff
don't
looks
mind.
great.
Okay. Now, ozone comes in different forms, and on my website we have these 3 forms that we have for sale. First of all, I enjoy this little GT50. It's for 50 square foot of space, and again, totally
You can
scalable.
dial it.
Dial it up, dial it down.
That has ozone in it.
Only ozone. No negative ionization is in this device.
Right.
Plug it in the wall. It's great for the laundry room where that you might have the cat box, or a
Or
bath,
just dirty laundry.
dirty laundry, or a bathroom that you
Yeah.
can't get rid of that odor. And what you're getting out of here is ozone. It's easy to make, very low current required to make it, and boy is it effective against odor.
Wow.
Okay. The next level up is the GT 1500. This is for 1500 feet of space. Now this one has negative ionization all the time and fan speed.
So that's bringing in the air and cleaning the air and putting the air back out into the room or the area.
You don't need
Sort
big
of.
fans and big
No.
filters to clean space.
No.
Remember, negative ionization is not catching those particles, it's helping them to land.
Right. And this is just the size of one of those little mini cube heaters.
Yeah, really the fan is small, just small enough to push the ozone and the negative ionization into the room. But this device works on an ozone switch. They call it the away mode. In other words, if you're leaving the basement or you're leaving the room, you might close the door and
Right.
hit the away zone. The away button will fill the room with ozone, land, settle out, kill bacteria, and then dissipate and go away.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question for that, Scott. Now, for the dog lovers or pet lovers out there, do ozones affect animals the same way they would affect the humans as far as respiratory and stuff like that?
Let me be clear. High levels of ozone are unhealthy to humans and animals.
Anybody,
Okay,
anything,
anybody.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we don't want to treat with high levels of
No.
ozone. Now, let me correct myself because we also have another device for commercial buildings that puts out a great deal of ozone. And what they can do with that device is move it from, for instance, hotel room to hotel room after the housekeeping.
After the housekeeping.
Sure, there's no
Wow.
one in that room, right? They just clean the room. They've got the device on their cart. They position in the room and they go and clean another. That device is blasting the room. They clean the other room, come back, grab the device, and move it to the next room. That used car or that hotel room is sanitized for your
Yeah,
protection.
that's great.
They use it in used vehicles to get rid of that smoke or smell.
Wow.
And they blast it. But this is the device that I use in my home. My wife likes exotic pets.
Such as?
Well, we have some lizards and fish, and she has sugar gliders. They're
Oh
little flying chipmunks.
She has sugar gliders?
You've heard of these?
Oh, yes, I have. Oh, wow.
Well, these animals are adorable,
Yeah.
but they come along with an odor.
Yeah, I know.
So with that being said, I use a device that's very scalable. And in my opinion, the scaling is very important. The device has different purification levels that go 250 feet up and down, all the way up to 3,000 square foot.
Wow.
That will cover most homes, 3,000 square foot.
Well, what if you're in a two-story?
Well,
Do you have to move it up to the next floor?
people do move them around. You might consider 2 of them. You might consider a small one and a
In
large
one
one.
area and a large one in the larger, like downstairs.
Ozone may make it down to the lower levels if you treat upstairs.
Right.
But if you're really trying to treat both levels,
Probably need two.
yeah. Do we have time to share a story about what happened in a retirement community locally?
We absolutely do.
Okay. On the first day, the building engineer called me his first day on the job and ordered 6 of these devices. So I decided to visit him myself
Sure.
because that was no inexpensive
Yeah,
purchase.
Exactly.
What I found was that not only did he care very much about the residents, He cared about the profit from the business, because I learned that this county retirement community got paid with bodies and beds each night, but it was always 100% occupied, except for one time. During the winter, they would have temporary closures because of flu bugs or cold bugs. And if more than 5 people came down with the same infectious anything, they'd have to close that floor temporarily.
Right.
Certainly beds would begin to go empty. Someone would go to a hospital or go home or move to a different retirement community. And when they had beds go empty, they were losing money.
Right.
They would always have 2 to 3 closures a year.
Wow.
In 2014, 0 closures for the first time in their history.
From using 6 of those.
From using ozone and negative ionization. I was very proud.
Yeah, that's great.
And we, for the first time, made sure there was no closures in that community. It may have saved them $100,000 or more. I don't even know.
Nice, nice. So Scott, tell the listeners where they can find you and all this great information you have. And I want you to talk about your show, because you're going to be coming on and doing a show right here on Radio Vision Network.
Keith, I'm very excited about your green channel. And if anyone would like to find my website or the videos that I've made about these techniques, they can go to nationalenergytech.com. And there they'll discover there's many ways of treating commercial buildings. Again, I specialize now in the big buildings because that's where I'm getting the most energy reduction for my buck.
Right.
But there are many systems within large buildings, and we found a way to retrofit almost every building system. And building engineers are surprised, almost shocked, in the various ways that we can tune up their equipment to make it run better and make it run less.
Nice.
And those ideas translate to homeowners, to vehicles, to horticulture. Those ideas translate all across the board. So on your green channel, we're coming up with a show called Living Efficiently. And I'm very excited to do it.
I heard somebody told me that there was maybe a tomato plant coming this afternoon. I heard something about a tomato plant.
It's a plant.
I won't say anything else about it.
I couldn't find any tomato plants, so we're going to plant a pepper bed in your studio.
Uh-oh.
But we're exploring titles like Driving Efficiently,
Yes.
Efficient Home, Efficient Basement, Efficient Summertime,
Traveling.
Efficient Travel, and today we're going to talk about efficient gardening. Gardening is a real passion of mine, but I'm a busy man, and I
Right.
want to continue gardening, and there is a lot to do if you're going to grow your own food
Oh
at
my
your
gosh.
home.
You're not kidding.
That's right.
And have a nice landscape. And if you're going to do it yourself, you better have techniques
Yeah.
and systems in place
Right.
that will allow you to pull that off and still have time to enjoy yourself.
And enjoy the fruits of your labor.
That's right.
Okay. Well, this is going to conclude morning coffee for this morning. Tune back in tomorrow. Me and Char will be here, I think, right?
We will.
Are we going to be here tomorrow?
We're here tomorrow. Yes, Keith.
We'll be
We're here tomorrow.
I like that, to confirm. And then, also for you people that follow us, now she just admitted again being in a hotel room with a guy. So
Yeah,
the divorce is definitely on. Okay, we want to know who the heck she was in the hotel room. She just keeps,
I have to keep you guessing.
You keep putting it out
She
there.
didn't say it was a double, Keith.
You
I
know what?
didn't.
She didn't say that. Good point, Scott. So we'll stay tuned for us tomorrow, and actually make sure you check Radio Vision Network out for Scott's show.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks for